where we see the health workers complaining, protesting, and even embarking on strike because they don't have the PPE. But on the other hand, we get reports of officials in different parts of the world, in the government systems, abusing and engaging in corrupt activities, particularly monies earmarked to combat this pandemic that is ravaging the world. What is your reaction? Are you watching? Are you monitoring? Are you concerned?
Maybe I could take a quick stab at that. Can you hear me?
Very
Margaret?
well.
Yes, no, I think Dr. Tedros has said this many times. We've seen the best of people in this response and in this pandemic, and we've certainly seen the worst of people, and certainly corruption is something that is not new to the world. And at this point, it's really, really important that governments govern and that we see very clear, transparent action by governments. In the case of health workers and others, it is very, very tough for health workers to continue to operate when they don't have appropriate PPE or they're not receiving payments that can feed their families. So it's equally important that governments focus on ensuring that frontline health workers have adequate pay, have adequate conditions, adequate safety. They are our heroes. They are in the front line. But it's also important that those workers too recognise that they have to put in place, if they are taking action, they also have a moral duty to their patients as well. So any actions that are taken by health workers to protest, and protest is something that everyone should be able to do, but it should not come at the expense of the health and welfare of patients.
Thank you. Just briefly to supplement that on the healthcare workers, I think this is a good opportunity to again remind everyone that we are seeing healthcare worker infections. We are seeing a large number of healthcare worker infections across the world. There are some estimates that 10 to 20% of reported cases in an individual country are among health workers. So it is really, really critical that healthcare workers, that frontline workers receive training so that they know how to protect themselves, how to put on and take off appropriate personal protective equipment, that they are provided the right supplies to be able to care for patients and provide the care that they are trained to do, that they have adequate rest periods, that they have support. This is a tremendous mental strain and physical strain on health workers who are putting themselves at risk for caring for COVID patients and other patients all over the world. So just a reminder that it really is important that we all have a responsibility to ensure that we protect health workers with the personal protective equipment that they need, the training that they need, and the support that they need.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan and Dr. Van Kerkhove.